Hi, everybody. It's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is already starting off very badly. I'm nervous, and I shouldn't be because if you read the title description, you know what I'm going to say. I kind of, gave it up right there in the title. So, yeah, this is going to be my last video on YouTube for the foreseeable future. I'm a big proponent of never say never, but this is probably going to be the last video. I thought I would take this opportunity to catch you up a little bit with what's been going on with me, give you a little insight into what I've been thinking as to why I made the decision that I made about leaving YouTube and kind of stuff like that. But of course, I wanted to, right from the jump, tell you what the decision was so that if that's all you need to hear and you need to say your goodbye right now, go ahead. For those of you who are interested in more details as to, why I'm making that decision, then stick around. I am mostly doing this video for you guys. I feel like I owe that to you. I have been procrastinating a little bit making this video because I just didn't know what to say. I ended up deciding that I was just going to sit down and film without a game plan, which is not me at all. You guys know I love my pages and pages of notes. I don't wing it very well, but I kept getting stuck when it was time to write down what I wanted to say. And I thought, I'm just going to have to say it. I'm just going to have to turn the camera on and talk to you guys like friends, because I feel like that's kind of the relationship we've had over the years. And I've always wanted you guys to, talk to me in the comments and voice your opinions about things. This whole channel is me voicing my opinions about, I was going to say things, but really just basically housewives. So anyway, all right, let me just start with what I've been going through over the summer. As I think most of you know, because I mentioned it on a few videos, but I realize that not everybody sees every video, and it's probably been shocking to some people to not see anything from me for so long. But the plan always was that I felt burned out and I was going to take the summer off, kind of reassess what I wanted to do. A big part of my being burned out was the Housewives, the Real Housewives franchises, all of them. I was tired of recapping them. I no longer felt like I was finding the joy in the show. When I first started doing this, I thought they were hilarious. I truly thought they were hilarious. And even when you guys were fed up with different housewives individually, on the whole, because I admittedly never got that invested in any one of them. I could tell you who I was siding with more often, or, who I thought was the funniest, or who I thought was the voice of reason, or, all that kind of thing, who was the villain, all that. But at the end of the day, I never really was team blank, anybody, Team Teresa. I know a lot of people are ride or die for Teresa. That was not me. Not even close. But even the ones that I kind of liked or thought was funny, or maybe I felt like their personality was closest to mine or something, I wasn't ride or die, because to me they were just characters on a TV show. And I always felt like there was always this moment that you and I cared more about a fight than they did. I always got the feeling that at the end of the shooting day, the two of them went out for coffee and laughed about it or something. It was so much was put on just for the show. And I'm not even hating on that so much. Yeah, of course you want a reality show to be very authentic, but I kind of understood why the producers had to put the ladies in certain situations that might bring on conflict. I get it. All of our day-to-day lives are a little boring. Even though I understood that, I didn't love it, but I still never struggled with finding something funny about it. Until I did start struggling with it. And that's when I knew I needed a break. It either felt too depressing, or it felt too formulaic, or too phony. I started to question, Heather Gay. I really like Heather from Salt Lake City, but the whole how did I get the black eye thing, and her being coy with that, and her acting like she was afraid of Jen Shah, but then she would do things that seemed like she was inciting her. I don't know. I don't want to get too in the weeds with this, guys, but I was done. I was over it. It just felt, it wasn't funny. It wasn't entertaining me anymore. So I knew I needed a break. And I really knew I needed a break from the Real Housewives. So I talked to you guys about it in probably the last couple of videos I did. And I think the last, was it Beverly Hills? Was that the last franchise I finished back in March or April? I don't remember when I stopped. I think so. But I talked to you guys about not feeling it anymore. And so many of you were super supportive about that. And you were like, yeah, I get it. I don't like them anymore either. I only watch them because I watch you and all that kind of thing. Very sweet. And you were also very sweet about suggesting that it was okay for me to do something different. Like one of you suggested I do true crime stuff. One of you said, you could do book reviews and we'd watch that. Like that would be fun. Yeah, but also, as much as I appreciated you guys saying that, and I truly, truly do appreciate you, I hope you know that. I also know that for me to come back and to change my channel entirely, to change the genre of my channel entirely, would have been very much like starting over again. And I remember what it was like when I first started and how much I needed to hustle to gain subscribers and that kind of thing. And YouTube is very fickle in terms of them, cutting you some slack. They reward consistency and they reward engagement. And if you are not on top of your game, you slip down and they do not push your videos out to anybody. And it's, it feels like a constant struggle to keep your head above water and get seen on YouTube. And I'm tired and I'm old-ish. No, I was old when I started this game. I was 55 years old when I first got into YouTube. So I've said this before, but this is a young man's game. If you don't create videos very consistently, at least once a week, but probably more than once a week, and then on top of creating the video and editing the video and, uploading the video and all the things, all the behind the scenes things that go along with that. In addition to that, if you are not also promoting it yourself on Instagram and TikTok and creating a YouTube short and Facebook and all the things, you fall behind. And it was a pace I wasn't interested in keeping up with. I don't know how anybody does it along with a full-time job. I never understood that. I mean, you just have to have the energy and the stamina of, I don't know what, not me, more than I do. I say all that not to sound like a complainer about it, because it was fun for so long. It was fun. And when I first started and I didn't know anything about it, I'm telling you, researching it, watching other videos, learning about it and learning how to do it myself, learning how to edit, teaching myself how to edit, teaching myself all that stuff in my 50s, it was fun. It was exhilarating to me. I enjoyed every part of the process. In fact, as it went further, as the years went further on, being on camera, least favorite thing. Least favorite thing. Putting on makeup and doing my hair and trying to look like I'm not a decrepit 90-year-old woman, worst part of it for me. So much so that I have thought about doing videos where I don't show my face, where I'm just showing clips of the show or that kind of thing. But that came with its own problems. I would run into copyright issues all the time, where I can't show a clip that's a certain length of time, or I was showing too many still shots. And it's like everything is working against you as a content creator. You know, I always felt like I was trying to, slip things past, So did they catch that? Did they catch that I had a 9-second clip of this, episode? And every time I would go through filming the show, editing the entire episode, and uploading, I would be holding my breath, crossing my fingers, hoping that it wasn't demonetized or I wasn't flagged for something. Every time. It's that part, not fun. Not fun. So I don't know how other people do it. I know other people do it. I don't know how. But either they haven't gotten caught yet or they have figured a workaround that I haven't. But all of that stuff was really, what I put in the basket of this is a young man's game. I'm too old for that shit. I just want to do what I want to do, and it's all for fun anyway, and why can't you just let me upload it and whatever. So a lot of the aspects of what I was doing was getting to me and had stopped being fun. I said from the beginning, once this isn't fun anymore, I will stop. And so now, at 63, I feel like, you've probably done all you can. And if you don't do Housewives and you have to start all over again, building up an audience again, I know some of you like me and you will stay no matter what I do here on YouTube, but I know most of you won't. And I don't even blame you for that. You came to me because either you didn't get the show yourself, and because I was so detailed about, reporting every part of what happened on the show, it was like you didn't need to watch it. You guys aren't going to be interested in me talking about a book or something, or just rambling about something random. And I get it. And like I said, I don't blame you for that. You came to me for a particular reason, and I'm not doing that for you anymore. And so because of that, I would have to find a new audience for the most part. And that's a lot of work. And I'm not up for all that. The other way of looking at that is I could just upload things that I want to upload. And I might do this. This is why I say never say never. If I don't know, if I watch a TV show that I think is amazing and I want to talk to you guys about it, I may just pop on oh my God, is anybody watching, Chimp Crazy or something? I'm sure you guys are watching Chimp Crazy, right? But, it might be something like that where I just want to talk about something crazy that happened on an episode very randomly, which is not typical Jill, because, my OCD does require me to talk about TV shows in chronological order, and I don't ever want to miss an episode. No, this is loosey-goosey Jill, who just might come on and be like, are you watching this? I just watched episode 5, and could you believe blah, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? It's just going to be super random. And then I would have to really not care if maybe only 24 people saw my video, because I'm not going to promote it. I'm not going to do all that stuff. but it would just be like my own, like for my own sake, because I need to talk about it with somebody, you know, and I want to talk about it with you guys. So that's possible. It's not probable, but again, the theme of the day is never say never. Anyway, I'm doing this video right now because I feel a responsibility and an obligation to those of you who have been with me from the beginning or who have stuck with me and have gotten to know me and have gotten to care about me, and you want to know what's going on. And so I truly feel a responsibility to you guys to let you know kind of where I'm at and that I'm not going to be coming back. Feels weird in a way, like, oh, I know you're going to miss me. I'm so sorry. I know you love me and you're going to miss me, like that. It does feel a little bit like, okay, Jill, you don't need to be so precious. We'll be fine. But on the other hand, you know, as friends, I do feel that I owe it to you to say goodbye. And it isn't just that I feel an obligation. I want to say goodbye to you guys, you know, properly say goodbye and let you know kind of what's going on with me. The last video I did was like a catch up, what's happening with me. And that was that May? That was a while ago. And at that time, I had told everybody I was on semaglutide, the GLP-1 agonist medication, and I was on that for a while, and I have since switched to tirzepatide, which is also compounded tirzepatide. That's the same ingredient in Mounjaro and Zepbound. It is supposed to be more effective. I switched because my side effects on the semaglutide were not getting any better. I had zero energy. And so I wanted to see if I would do better on this. And at first, not so much. I actually had to titrate down from 7.5 milligrams to 5 milligrams because I was really not feeling good. And I think it was too much. I think I just started with too much, but they transferred me over. They were trying to do, I guess, the equivalent of what I had been on with the semaglutide. And it was just too much for me. So they took me down, and I feel so much better. I have more energy. I've been bike riding and going on hikes with my husband and stuff. So I'm feeling way, way better. So I'll continue with that as long as I'm continuing to, you know, lose weight. I was a little afraid I was going to gain weight by going down. But I haven't so far, but you know, it's still slow and steady for me, the weight loss, which I am 100% okay with. This is a marathon, not a race, so I'm good with it. From when I started in April, I'm down a little over 30 pounds. So I'm quite content with the 1 to 2 pounds of loss per week. That's been good for me. And now that I'm like starting to feel better, I'm in a good place right now with it. So, you know, we'll see. I was supposed to see my regular physician last week, but he canceled because he was sick. So now I will see him next Monday. And I'll talk to him about this whole thing. And we'll see. And also, it's my regular physical that I'm going for. So he'll be doing my blood work again, and we'll see how, like, my cholesterol and all that kind of stuff is. I'm on blood pressure medication, but I'm also actually wondering if he might want to lower that because it's been pretty low. I've been taking my blood pressure just like once a week just to kind of monitor it. It's been pretty low, and I had been feeling a little lightheaded. Now, that was on the higher dose, so I'm not feeling so lightheaded anymore. But one thought I had was that maybe I was lightheaded because my blood pressure was too low. which is, I mean, sounds insane because I've had high blood pressure for years. But again, lowering my dosage of the compounded tirzepatide has sort of solved that problem too. I'm actually feeling really good and normal, like for the first time in a long time. So I'm happy about that. And but I'll talk to him when I see him on Monday. Sorry, that was a bit of a ramble, but those of you who had been asking me how I'm doing on that medication, I just wanted to update you on that. And I really don't want to end on this because it's sad, but also on July 16th, we lost our little Olive, our little Morky. She was 16 years old. And I keep saying this because I think people are going to be like, I mean, she was 16. Did you think she would live forever? No, of course I didn't. But when I tell you, like, I just feel like she was doing so good right up until the end. She was alert. She still always wanted to go for a walk. And she just went very quickly. She started to develop fluid in her lungs, and she was like wheezing in just a weird way. And by the time we had gotten to the vet, she had been throwing up, and I think basically like she had a heart attack at the vet. Anyway, she just went really fast. And in many ways, I do feel like that was a blessing that we didn't have to watch her suffer for a long time or go through a long illness. But at the same time, I'm sorry, it was like a little bit of just this like shock for Chris and I. And for such a tiny body, this little 9-pound thing, she was a huge presence. She was my little shadow. Whatever room I would go in, she'd come in. I would sit on the couch in the evening and she'd be on my lap, and she slept in the bed with us. I mean, she was just, yeah, it was just a huge loss. The house feels even still very, very quiet. And it's been like 2 months now. And I was sort of surprised because it was just Chris and I living in the house with her. But it's funny because it occurred to me, you don't realize how much you talk to her. I could be in the other room and I could hear Chris like, what do you want? Are you ready for dinner? All right, I'm making you your dinner. Okay, just hold on, wait, I'm getting it ready. Like we talked so much to her. And she was quite deaf at the end, so she wasn't even hearing it, but it was just, a habit or whatever. But I think that was part of it. Part of what made the house seem so quiet with just Chris and I. Anyway, again, I don't want to end on a sad note, but I know so many of you guys know Olive, and I've posted pictures of her a million times on Instagram, and you all just, I feel like you guys know her. And at the time she passed, Chris did post something. I couldn't. I kind of wanted to, but I just really, I couldn't bring myself to do it. And look at me. This is 2 months later, and I'm barely able to like talk about it with you guys. But I just took a picture of her. I'll put it up. I just took a picture of her. This was earlier, the day she died. She was just my little my little sweetie, and I miss her. So yeah, it was little bit of a rough spot in my time off there, but we gathered her things and we brought them to the Greenville Humane Society, and they were very grateful for everything that we were able to give them. And we were just so grateful that we were able to donate things and not just throw things away, or, it was nice to know that they would go to good use. So that was sort of that helped get us through that, But anyway, I didn't think I would be talking this long, you guys. If you're still here, I just want you to know how much you have meant to me through the years. And I mean that whether you have ever commented or whether you comment on every single video. I mean that. I'm grateful to you. I'm one of those people that is not a regular commenter, but I still consume a lot of YouTube, and I have my favorite YouTubers that I watch religiously, but I don't always comment. And so, but it doesn't mean that I don't love them just as much. And so I recognize that if you guys are like me and you've never commented, but you're still there and you still tune in, I appreciate you very, very much. Oh, I just want to say really quick, for those of you who have been missing George and Martha, they're back doing videos. Now, they're not doing Housewives either. Sorry. They're just kind of vlogging. Whenever they get together, either at George's house or at Martha's house. I don't know how she's finding the time with the little one at home, but I'm grinning now because I'm like, I am so happy when I see their adorable little faces. They look amazing. Martha is just, she's the most stunning human being on the planet. She always has been. But George looks, I can't know how to describe it, like healthy and happy, and both of them. My little angsty duo is, thriving. No, they're just so good. And it's just so great to catch up with them and just hear them talk and kind of riff off each other. And they talk about everything. They talk about their lives. They talk about politics. They get into everything they're feeling. And, yeah, they've had a couple videos out so far, so don't forget to check them out. It's Unkind TV is the channel. Yeah, I love them. You guys know how much I love them. And so yeah, there's you might be losing me, but you're gaining them again. So I hope that helps a little. But anyway, one more time, I will say, I love you guys. I really appreciate you. I have always appreciated your kindness, your loyalty, and, sticking with me no matter what I'm doing and being very understanding. That I think it's just time for me to go. And if one day you see my little face on your YouTube notifications, you'll know that I had something I just couldn't keep to myself and I wanted to talk about. But until then, goodbye. I really love you guys. Take good care.